Jesse Tatum. I am the principal flute of the Santa Fe Symphony, and we are live. I was just playing Debussy's Syrinx in homage to my colleague, Kaylin Benedict, whom I can't be sharing a screen with today. Unfortunately, despite all of our collaborative and creative problem-solving skills, we were not able to figure out a way to make it happen. So apologies that we can't both be here. She will be here in about 15 minutes. And in the meantime, I will be here taking your questions about the Santa Fe Symphony and what it's like being a musician in the Santa Fe Symphony and what I've been up to. So one of the things I've been doing during the intermission is yoga every damn day. Laura Dwyer, I know you're on that. Been going deep, digging deep, making space, taking care of myself. I hope that everybody is taking care of themselves in the transition and that everyone is healthy and their friends and family are healthy. I have a couple questions to get us started. One is, what guest artists am I particularly excited about playing with this next season? And for me, it is Mary Bowden, because Mary Bowden, the trumpet player who will be playing the Vivian Fung Concerto, and I believe the Haydn Concerto. Mary and I played together at the Santa Fe Opera in La Boheme. We were both in the banda together. So that I think was the season that I was wearing a Hulk suit. They stuffed me up so I looked like a buff French military dude. And so it took a really long time to get into costume. And also it was such a thick costume, like I couldn't even tie my own shoes. Anyway, I'm super excited to see Mary and reconnect with her and make some wonderful music together. The next question I have is, am I still practicing daily or weekly? I am practicing most days. I am doing mostly like my daily work. So articulation stuff, technique, tone, and that is usually taking about a couple hours. And actually I was inspired by a couple of my flute students to jump back into some of the etude books I've been working with them on. And they're these wonderful etudes. They're all about the high register, and they sound like demented circus music, and they are a true pleasure, and it is what is keeping me entertained through this time. Let's see, Laura Dwyer, my girl, is asking what kind of yoga I've been doing. I've been doing yoga with Adrienne, because Adrienne makes me feel good about myself and makes me feel good about what I'm up to. Another question is, what have I been listening to during my time off? I am a big fan of what I call recreational music. So I have been listening to the new Fiona Apple and really getting into that. And I've been listening to Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds is a perennial favorite of mine. Although sometimes I just need some atmospheric Japanese electronica to just keep me afloat during this time. I have a question from Carl. Why is it that when there's a harpsichord, it is played back from the conductor? Unfortunately, most people in the audience cannot hear the harpsichord. Oh, so the harpsichord is an awesome instrument. I think it sounds like a synthesizer. And I do like it when the way that it's set up, because then the harpsichord player really feels like they're part of the orchestra. And for me, playing in an orchestra is an extended version of a lot of the chamber music that I play. I have a question from Vicky asking if I play any other instruments. And I also play piccolo, and I love playing piccolo because it is loud and high and obnoxious, which are also qualities that people tend to associate with me. So I have another question coming in. Let's see. Do I enjoy chamber music as much or more than orchestral performance, and how is the process different? I love playing chamber music, and chamber music came late in my life. I played with chatter a lot, and chatter is a big reason that my cup is filled. It is my favorite experience in terms of connecting with people and connecting with the audience. I really believe in an energetic connection, which is why I believe so deeply in live performance. So when I move those skills over to the orchestra, it's about connecting with my fellow woodwind players. And we've got Elaine, Stephanie, Lori, Laura, and everyone in the section. It is about a group experience, and the more that I can feel as though I'm part of the group, connecting with the audience, really creating a performance together between the audience and the performers, that's really what I need in terms of being an artist. Someone is asking me about the responsibility of being a solo player in the orchestra as opposed to being in a section like violinists. I might get a little shade from the violinists after this, but being a solo player means that for me, the pressure is on all the time. It matters a lot to me if I'm playing first, second, piccolo. It really doesn't matter where I am in the section. In the Santa Fe Symphony, I'm playing principal. I want everything to be as I intended to come out. So whether that is pitch, whether that is dynamic, the style of vibrato I want to be using, tone colors, it matters to me that I am really bringing great music to life in every single aspect of my time on stage. Laura is asking what inspires me most as an artist, and I think I pretty much covered that. What inspires me is the energetic connection. I love to take part in life with people, and that means all of life. So when we're in a time like this where things can get really dark and really anxious, I'm also diving in there because art is humanity and music is art. And so the more I can bring my humanity to my performance, the more I can really connect with people on some level and bring our shared lives together. Stephen asked me if I have red or green, and it depends. Carne Vada is a last meal for me, definitely. I am not from New Mexico. I'm from Portland, Oregon, and carne vada was a revelation. It is absolutely one of my favorite things to eat at any time. However, green chili stew, like that, I mean, that's life. So thanks, Stephen, for that. I'm looking here for another question. What hobbies do I have and how are they developing, or how am I expanding them currently? Like I said, I like doing yoga. I love being physical. I've been hiking, doing a lot of work in the yard. And also another one of my hobbies is fashion. And someone was asking about my outfits. Oh, Catherine was asking about my outfits. I really take this idea of stretching the boundaries and living my best life, and putting my spirit out in the world. And I like to do that with music, with live music. I also like to do that with fashion. So I enjoy definitely like a stress reducer is like looking online for inspiration. And generally speaking, a lot of Japanese designers are really inspiring to me. Also, there's a question about Meow Wolf, and I was playing with Meow Wolf through the spring, and I've played a lot of different characters at Meow Wolf. A few of those characters I created myself. One was Stardust Supernova, which was definitely heavily influenced by Blade Runner. So I was wearing a nude bodysuit and galaxy makeup, and my hair was very blonde at the time, and I had a clear plastic raincoat on, and it was so fun. Then I was a flute bot, and that was a silver bodysuit, silver face makeup, kind of Kanye West glasses, and and my punk Western cowboy boots. And that was super fun. It was so fun, in fact, that we ended up doing a concert with Chatter where I was doing all solo works, for which I would just like to say I hold the record for curtain calls at Chatter for that show. So that was a exciting moment for me, fashion and music coming together in one place. I have a question. How, as someone who plays as a soloist often, how do I prepare myself to get on stage? And genuinely, I prefer solo performing because it seems like I can't let anybody down. Like I am just playing, I'm bringing myself to the party, and I can kind of stretch, expand, contract. I can perceive the music on a moment by moment experience, and if something goes weird, I know that I can solve that problem. So generally speaking, I am less worried about going on stage as a soloist. However, I do a lot of jumping around. I get very loud. I do a lot of laughing. I just amp up the Jesse quality to 10 or 11. How do I find new pieces? I find new pieces usually going down like a YouTube rabbit hole. I'll be listening to one piece and then go to another. I have another person in my life that calls it a sidebar spiral, which I really like. And I also have, at this point, I think a reputation for playing whatever somebody puts in front of me. So I say yes as a way of life, and that sometimes gets me to play some interesting pieces, but they are a fun stretch for me. Speaking of saying yes to fun stretch pieces, I would like to plug the Rouse Flute Concerto, which will be coming. It's scheduled for February 2021. It is a huge work for flute. It's about half an hour. It's got 5 movements. The orchestra is huge. I am thrilled to be playing this program with the Santa Fe Symphony, and to be a soloist with the group. It makes me very excited. I've been doing a lot of listening. There are some moments, I think it is in the 3rd movement, where the orchestra just roars, and listening to it and knowing that my colleagues will be making that roar gives me life. So I'm super excited about that. I've never played the Rouse before. When Guillermo suggested it, I was obviously deeply flattered, but then I'm excited. It's a big project. It requires both a lot of artistry in terms of phrasing, but also a lot of articulation, a lot of technique. It's a fully formed, gorgeous work. So I'm very excited about that. What is my favorite piece to play? My favorite piece to play is whatever I'm working on at that time. I believe deeply that I have to like what I am bringing to the table. So I will find things to like about whatever it is I'm playing. And if that thing is sometimes that the piece will be over soon, then I will like that part. Let me see. Do I have anything else in here? I think that I'm about ready to toss this over to my colleague, Caitlin. So I'm going to sign off. Thank you for having me, Santa Fe Symphony. Thank you for taking part. And make sure you refresh your screen so that you can watch Caitlin when she comes on live. Thanks so much, everybody. Take care.